What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show, NBA show from SVR. Make sure you guys go to the website, svrpicks.com/NBA. Check out all the articles, NBA content we have over there. I'm your host, Jay Money. That's Jordan Sharp. That's Junior Brown. Triple J show. We're here to break down these NBA games today. Just 2 game slate. First, we're going to recap the weekend. My God, how was your weekend, Jordan?
Not bad. Last time I was on the show, we made some money with the Suns, and then I ended up laying off Friday's slate with that Game 6 between the Clippers and Dallas, and then Saturday, Jay and I talked before the show. I was ready to take the Bucks, and I didn't, and then James Harden goes out, and I said that was the stupidest thing I've ever not done. Turns out I wasn't right with that statement, and obviously the Nets came away with the win there. But we made some money on Sunday. Finally fired away on them Dirty Birds, those Hawks. Not as big as I wanted to because Embiid got ruled in, but still was a win. I'll take a win. Haven't had a lot of those lately, but it was a nice close to the weekend. How about you, Junior?
I just had a really busy weekend, but it's weird. It's funny when we don't do this show for more than one day. It feels like we've been gone forever, and it also feels like so many things have happened because series have closed out, a new one's about to start. So I'm sure Jay's gonna have a lot of stuff to recap. From my personal perspective, I got a lot of money on Brooklyn futures. I mean, not even just a bet that I have a blackjack, just personally, like in my own accounts. So seeing them smack up these boys without James Harden was a beautiful sight to see for me personally. And I can't wait for this Phoenix Denver series to start. I can't stand the Clippers, so go Jazz. What else did I miss? Oh, and Trae Young he's silencing a lot of doubters because people had a lot to say about his season not being as good as they thought it would be. I don't think he was as good as he was last season during the regular season. None of that matters. When you're balling like he's balling in the playoffs, that's how you make your legacy. That's how you make your name in this league. So definitely got to give credit to Trae Young. And I actually want to say something. And I'm curious, Jay, to hear your opinion on this. We talk a lot of shit about Blake Griffin. I'm curious to hear what you have to say about the way he played, diving on the floor, throwing down dunks, actually looking like a real NBA player. Curious to hear your take on that. So I'll throw it to you, the host of the most.
Yeah, no, I can't stand Blake Griffin. Yeah, he had a good game. Be interested to see if he could keep it up. But yeah, that's just my personal thought. That's why I said I won't go too far up in it. Just as a person, I can't stand Blake Griffin. It goes all the way back to Oklahoma days. But he played a good game. Be interested to see if he can hit 4 threes again. I think he went 4 from 9 for 3 guys. So prop guys, I believe Blake Griffin's prop is just like over 1.5 threes. Obviously, if he's shooting 9 threes, the likelihood that he'll make 2 is pretty good. So prop guys there. But we didn't even talk about the game yet. Just Saturday, the Bucks, they did go down. Harden went out with the first minute. Bucks got away from what they did best, getting into the paint. You're going against the Nets, which started Blake Griffin at center, and they started shooting threes. They did go 6 for 30 from 3, and I believe the Nets went like 15 for 38 or something like that. Regardless, they hit 9 more threes than them, had Blake Griffin like an all-star. Chris Middleton didn't hit a 3, and Drew Holiday didn't play his best game as well. So that's why the Bucks lost that one. Yesterday, the Hawks smack up this 76ers. A lot of injury report manipulation there. Embiid end up playing though, and the Hawks still smack them, get out to an early lead. 76ers try to come back late. It was too little too late though. And the Clippers put out my Mavs squad. Unfortunately, we're out. I lost on the Mavs as well, guys. So had the Mavs yesterday plus 6.5. I took the loss, my guys. But let's get to today's games, what you guys are here for. First game up, since we're all talking about it. Bucks versus Nets, Junior. I want to ask you, do you think that Blake Griffin, I mean, obviously he played a good game, and it just goes to show you that, when you're saving yourself for the Nets, you talk about not respecting someone, Junior. You don't come to play versus the Pistons, but then the Nets, you're a whole new player. Just kind of crazy how these guys can put on a different face, Junior. What you think about this Bucks versus Nets spot, my guy?
So I'm just going to touch on what you just said for a second because I've touched on this on the show before, I think probably last year. In my younger days, coming up, I used to pay my good hard-earned money to watch Vince Carter play basketball when I used to live in Toronto. And then the year he got traded to New Jersey, he was a bum for Toronto. He was averaging, like 15, 16 points a game. You could tell that he just quit. He gets traded to the Nets. My man is putting up 27 a game, balling out of his mind, dunking on people. disgusted. And then I can never look at him the same no matter what anyone says because of that. I don't hate him personally, but I watched him quit. So when it comes to what Blake Griffin's doing, you kind of know my opinion on that, because if you're good enough to do this today, you were good enough to do this in Detroit. And like what Isaiah Thomas said the other day, they might be looking for Blake Griffin on 8 Mile Road, wondering where was all this effort a couple months ago. But anyways, as for tonight's game, I actually have a moneyline parlay that involves Brooklyn, and it took me a while to come to this conclusion because my head is telling me that it's more likely that Milwaukee bounces back especially from 3, and just puts in a better overall effort. Like Jay said, they kind of went away from what was working for them, which is why they lost that game. And if you're gonna have a contest where you try to outscore Brooklyn, then you better be getting free throws and points in the paint. Because if you're going to try and do it from the outside, I just don't see how that's a recipe for success the way that their team is built. Their team is built with literally some of the best scorers to ever play basketball. Like that's what you're trying to beat. I just don't think that's the right strategy. But I look at it also from a different standpoint. And I am admitting to anyone watching me or hearing me say this, I'm looking at it through Nets eyes because I want the Nets to win. I have money on the Nets. So I'm going to admit my bias. But what I saw was Kyrie and KD didn't even really play their best game, to be honest. And the Nets looked pretty comfortable winning. They needed Blake Griffin to play as well as he played. But even if Blake regresses, I still think Kyrie and KD are going to play much better than they did in that first game. And I swear to God, I just looked at those two teams on the court at the same time, and I just feel like Brooklyn is just better. I know that's not me giving you numbers and analytics or whatever it is. And that's fine. Don't listen to what I'm saying. This is my opinion. Brooklyn is a better team. I have them in a money line parlay with one of the next 2 teams that we're going to talk about.
Got you. I think they're a better team with Harden. I'll go out and say they're a better team with Harden. Without him, pretty even in my opinion. Just my opinion, though. Everybody has one. Jordan, what do you think about this game? You think the absence of Harden will come to fruition here for the Bucks? You think the Nets keep it going? Can they keep up with Kyrie and KD? And do you think the Bucks you get some positive shooting regression from the Bucks, my guy?
Yeah, I think all those things are very possible. The one thing I'm looking for into this game, like you said, is the 3-point battle. That's kind of be the number one thing. But for me, I think spread-wise, this is a really tough game to call because, like you said, no Harden, no Jeff Green for Brooklyn. These teams are a lot more evenly matched than they were heading into this series before Game 1. So, I know a lot of people are a lot of sharps, I should say, probably are going to jump on the Bucks here. And if this is the game to steal, you're probably going to, this is the one to do it. They had chances in Game 1. That being said, I think for me, with the absence of Harden, the thing I'm going to look for is probably prop value more than anything. This total's been just flying upward ever since it opened, which is not something I thought I'd see with Harden out. But the one thing I try to take advantage of when those happens is prop line. And who are we saying here is going to get more run for the Nets? It's probably going to be a guy like Joe Harris. So maybe his prop ticket, I think, is like 12.5, 13.5 points. In this one, if the Nets are going to win this game, they're going to need guys like him to step up and in place of Harden provide that shooting. And I think he's probably the main guy that's going to benefit from the usage drainage, other than KD and Kyrie obviously taking on more like they did once he went out. So probably would be where I would go with this one here. I don't think I'm getting involved in the spread, though. I figure the under would kind of see steam in this one. It's been the opposite direction, so I'm going to lay off on that one as well. If we're going to see another offensive shootout here, I think that's got to favor the Nets here, but I'm not ready to get involved because, like I said, this is just another one of those where I could see either side winning. A lot of motivation, I think, for Brooklyn to kind of hold serve at home and then Milwaukee to take advantage of Harden being out. So interesting to see tonight, but I probably will lay off spread total-wise and maybe look towards props if I do bet this game.
Exactly. Couldn't talk you off there. Like I said, I mean, if Blake Griffin is shooting 9 threes, that over 1.5 probably not be bad, my guys. Nothing official for me on this one, but I would, if I had to bet this game, or if I were betting this game, I would be on the Bucks. Not necessarily bounce back factor, but they just look at it this way, guys. Their whole starting lineup was based around obviously Harden, KD, and Kyrie. Whenever Harden goes down 1 minute into the game, and you still have PJ Tucker in that starting lineup, and they hadn't played a whole lot of games this year, there was specifically for him to be guarding Harden to start the game. Their whole game plan was to go with Harden over there, obviously on the other side. So I kind of think that it was a shock to them. Everything went out the door. They just had to go on the fly. Budenholzer has not been good at making adjustments. So be interested to see what happens here if the Bucks can make adjustments. And we kind of all know, I mean, they could get whatever they want in the paint. They kind of stopped doing it in game one and decided to just shoot threes. They went 6 for 30 from three. So when I don't know about you guys, when I play basketball and my shot's not falling, I'm just going to stop shooting. Either I'm going in or I'm passing, my guys. But heavy lean to Bucks for me. I do think if they're going to steal a game in Brooklyn, and if they want to win this series, you got to win back home court. You have to do it before Harden comes back as well. That's obviously this one your best chance. So be interested what happens here. Lean Bucks for me, and it may translate to the over as well. You'll see a lot more drives to the hoop and likely less 3-point attempts, but they probably won't hit just 6 threes again, my guys. So be interested what happens with this one. Heavy lean to Bucks, and Bucks team total over for me, my guys. Next game up, Nuggets versus the Suns here. Game 1 of this matchup, my guys. We got the Suns coming off that series win versus the Lakers. Nuggets coming off the series win versus the Blazers here, Junior. Who what you liking? I can hear Junior now. I'm on the Suns, son.
I don't know. I have to waste my breath saying it, but I will because I'm on the Suns, son. Hell, you're damn right. Plus 185. Suns, Nets, money line. Do I have to even tell you all the reasons? Okay, let me tell you all the reasons. For one, you know what Denver showed me? They don't play no goddamn defense. The Portland Trailblazers could get whatever they want when they want. The reason why they lost that series is because the Blazers are the second worst defense in the entire NBA. The Suns are far from that. The Suns are a top 10 offense, top 10 defense. I think DeAndre Ayton, he's not going to stop Jokic, but he's a big-ass body. And I feel like, just put it to you this way. You want to talk about all the players on that team that have benefited from Chris Paul? I think it's DeAndre Ayton. I think DeAndre Ayton has been schooled by Chris Paul on how to play basketball with his skill set and his size. Don't try to do what you can't do. Do exactly what you can do. And I think defensively, he's going to tell him things that are going to help him. Again, you can't stop Jokic. It's just not possible. But at least you got a guy who is as big, definitely not as strong, but definitely way more athletic, and has the basketball IQ of his leader to help him, adjust, along with one of the best coaches in the league, Monty Williams. So I think Phoenix has the tools to take it to these guys. I think it's Suns in 5, in my opinion, 6 at most. And find me a bigger mismatch in your life than Facundo Campazzo against CP3, my guy. Please tell me when you've seen a bigger mismatch than that. I would love to know. Because Chris Paul doesn't kill you with points. He kills you with everything. So we've seen what Dame could do. You'll see what Chris Paul could do, and that's lead his team to the Western Conference Finals. Son.
I do like the Suns here, Junior, but I must say Campazzo versus Dame was a lot worse matchup for the simple fact that Dame would just shoot over Campazzo is a lot smaller. As far as CP3, he's not really going to be shooting pull-up threes. It's all methodical basketball. So I'm not saying that Campazzo can guard him, but it's actually a lot easier task for him than Dame Lillard, where you really have to guard him or double team him coming from half-court line. So I like the Suns here, but that's the only thing I'm saying. It's not actually a terrible matchup for Campazzo, even though I think that he will get cooked. It's going to be up to Campazzo and Rivers. Simply put, can they slow down Paul? And it's not even really slow down Paul. It's all about assists with him. He's not super aggressive scoring, even though he may be in this series. He's not a super aggressive scorer. Obviously, we know he's still kind of hurt with the shoulder. Booker, now Austin Rivers versus Booker, now that's a bit of a mismatch. Jordan, this could be the series where the Nuggets missing their guards really is magnified. What do you think about that?
Not only is it going to be magnified, I don't think they not even like leaving out that they're going to struggle to score or struggle to defend the Phoenix guards. Like they're going to struggle to score against them too. Like let's be perfectly honest. I mean, and then on top of that, the front court matchup, I think. Like Junior was mentioning, Ayton isn't going to. I don't think he's going to get cooked. I don't think he's going to stop Jokic, but he's going to be somewhere in the middle of there, and that's really all they need him to be. And on top of that, they're very well built to slow down Michael Porter Jr. He's going to get a ton of Mikal Bridges. That's the matchup I think is going to be the key, one of the keys to this series. If Porter's dropping over 20 points a game and is getting what he wants, and Phoenix is having a hard time stopping him, Denver's going to have a chance here. But I can't see that happening. The way these two teams matched up in the regular season with Jamal Murray, it was close. They went to overtime twice. Denver won both those games. And Jamal Murray had, I think, 31, 18, and 26 in those 3 games. Not having him now, it's just a completely different ball game. And you're talking about a Suns team who, and not only was the second best defensive team in the first round, but in the first half was just eating the Lakers alive. You're taking a Lakers team, holding them to 94 points per 100 possessions in the first half. And now you got a Denver team whose backcourt you're just a huge mismatch against. You have a huge mismatch against. Give me the Suns in the first half. I don't have my Smack City shirt yet, but this is like real close to being a Smack City spot for me here. But I'm gonna keep it light, keep it conservative. I like the Suns here first half. I think that they are a very bad matchup for Denver sans Jamal Murray with the way that they played the first half. And like Junior was mentioned, the Nuggets defense, and I say it every time, on the road. Without Jamal Murray, their last, 17, 18 games, I think they played without him. They were 12 points worse defensively in first halves on the road than they were at home. It's a complete misnomer how they played at home. I think they regress a lot against the Suns team and matches up well against them. So I got -2. It's at 2.5 right now. I'll take that as well with the Suns first half.
Yeah, more importantly, Jordan, Will Barton. They have Barton in those games as well.
Barton
he is their best wing defender, and likely would need him to go against Booker. He may come back later in the series, but he won't be in here game 1, Junior. We know you like the money line. What you think about Jordan's play first half? If you had to make a play on the spread, minus 2.5 first half or -5 full game, which one would you like better with the Suns, my guy?
I would go first half because I think that the Suns have to be smart enough to know that the Denver Nuggets are more battle-tested than them in the playoffs. The Nuggets last year showed us that if you underestimate them, you'll get sent home like the Clippers did. I can't think that the Suns, after winning one playoff series in the last 10 years, are all of a sudden arrogant enough to think that they could just show up and they're just going to win this game. So I think for the Suns, if something that Jay says a lot when he makes certain plays, that if they're not coming through in the first quarter, first half, you can just forget about it. Mm-hmm. I'll apply that logic right here. If the Suns are not winning in the first quarter, first half, that's going to be a real problem for them if you're laying full game. So I would go Suns first half because that's where I think that they're going to come out with the most energy.
Exactly. Yeah, we see it sometimes. Sometimes it's either a trifecta winner or a trifecta loss. A team will really come out hot and they'll keep that momentum throughout the duration of the game, or they come out and get smacked and they can't come back. So it's usually trifecta spot one way or another. My guys, doesn't always work out that way. But I agree with Jordan. I agree with Junior here. I like the Suns here. It's the Suns for me, my guys. The only way I'll be looking at this game. It's not the only way, but I do think the Nuggets will struggle here. We talk about them on the road. Jokic is actually on record saying that Ayton defends him the best in the NBA. You look at the numbers that back it up as well. Ayton is the best defensive guy on Jokic. He can hold him down. He can contain him. I like this team. They play a lot better team defense, and their offense is very methodical and efficient as well. The Nuggets going to be facing a tall task here. I think Michael Porter Jr.'s defense is going to be on display here, and Jordan made a good point. Bridge is going to be all in him. This team has a really good defensive, and the last key point that I want to say, they do have Torrey Craig on the Suns that used to play on the Nuggets as well. All the reports I'm seeing saying, hey, Craig speaking up when it's time to in the film room, like, look, this is how you guard them, this is how you beat them, so and so. He spent a couple of years, 2-3 years on the Nuggets, so he does have some inside info how to beat them. Suns have a slightly better bench as well. Nuggets have a nice bench, but until they get their guards back, The Suns have a better bench right now. They're playing better team defense as well. Heavy lean to Suns for me, Jordan. Break them off with your officials, my guy.
I'm glad you mentioned that too, because I think part of putting pressure on Michael Porter Jr. would be forcing him to defend. So Mikal Bridges props potentially could have some value here as well. I'm assuming those two will be matched up, pretty much exclusively with each other on either end of the floor. Also, we mentioned another guy for props in this one that could be good. Campazzo unders potentially, because how's he stay on the floor and they not go to Monte Morris like almost immediately in this game if he starts getting cooked on the defensive end. So we'll see. A lot of interesting matchups. For me, it's Suns -2 first half. 2.5 will be official for the show play since that's the market price right now.
Gotcha. I don't want to shit on Campazzo too much, man. I know how I am when we're on a pick and then we trade somebody, but I'll be honest, Campazzo can move his feet. He's not a tall player at all. He's a scrappy player, I must say. I've watched plenty of. I'm watching games. Hey, Facu! Hey, Facu Campazzo when I'm going for the Nuggets, but I'm not going for the Nuggets tonight. I'm just letting you know that these guys are NBA players. They're not trash. He's not a 30-year-old rookie. He's a rookie in the NBA, but the guys played overseas. So I'm just saying we can't trash these guys. They did make it to the NBA. We're sitting here doing the show talking about them. Junior, what's up, my guy? What you liking?
No, I'm a post on my Twitter page if I remember later. There's a play because Campazzo actually has a lot of Chris Paul in him in the sense that he could be dirty when it's time. When it's time. There's a play from when he played in the Euro League where a dude was trying to box him out and he suplexed the dude straight up. I'll post it later. He literally grabbed homeboy and suplexed him and flipped him over. And dude tried to rush him, and Campazzo was about it. He was like, what you want? Like, you know what I mean? So Campazzo's definitely not soft, if there's one thing about him. And I'm pretty sure he was like the EuroLeague MVP one year. Like, so definitely to Jay's point, I might be dismissing him. It's just because I'm comparing him to Chris Paul, that's all. But no disrespect to him. He could definitely play. And there's something else I forgot to say. I actually had an official play on the Brooklyn total. I just didn't mention it because I was talking for so damn long. I'm on the under first half, under 112.5. There's a couple of trolls that are going wild in the chat today, say that all I do is pick leans. I think you mean all I do is pick winners, you bums. I've been killing it all playoffs, but don't worry about it. Don't let the truth get in your way. Under 112.5 first half, and moneyline parlay Nets, Suns pays plus 185 depending on the number you get it at.
Got you. Yeah, we're here to break down the games for you guys, man. Whether we're not betting with your money, you're not betting with ours. We always tell guys only one unit. If we are suggesting a play, you guys already have a deal. What you like, you just here to listen to us break down the games, my guys. So it's up to you guys. Heavy leans to Bucks for me and heavy leans to Suns, my guys. Nothing official for me. Appreciate you guys for watching. It's my guy Junior Browne. It's my guy Jordan Sharp. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like I say, we're here to break down these games. I'm your host, Jay Money. We will be back tomorrow. Gone.